Okay, I'm sorry about before. Now we fixed the problem. Thank God. God bless you all. Welcome to the new weekly lecture. And today, with the help of dear God, we're going to speak about a very, very, very important subject. Okay? We all know, at least the Noachai, we say the word Lashon Hara. Slandering, talking not nice about other people. Okay? Well, guys, we need to get inside the details and to know exactly the consequences about Lashon Hara. How terrible, how bad luck Lashon Hara will bring to your life. Slander. Okay, guys, we're gonna get inside the details today and we'll understand exactly the actions. Okay, so I'm in shock how this week went so fast. I mean, last Sunday was like 2 hours ago. What's going on? Time goes fast, guys. And we need to use our time wisely and not to waste our time for nonsense. And to know exactly what we're doing. We need to learn exactly which words we use on our mouth. Because our mouth can be the most sophisticated machine. But in one hand, we can ruin the world. But in the second hand, we can build the world with good and right words. Okay? So the topic today, with the help of God, is Lashon Hara. Talking not nice, talking bad words about other people, slandering. Guys, we need to know exactly. And I have a feeling this is the first time in the history that we're talking about Lashon Hara for Noachai. Why? Because if we're going to look at the 7 laws of Noach, I don't see a law that says, Lo Lashon Hara, don't speak Lashon Hara. It doesn't say. But let me tell you something, guys. First of all, we need to know God gave each one of us a brain. We need to use our brain. There's a lot of laws that it's not in those 7 laws, but we need to use our brain. One of them is Lashon Hara. Now I'm going to prove to you that each law of the 7 laws, and we're going to go through the 7 laws. We'll see how Lashon Hara is including. Okay, guys, so be ready, okay? And I promise you, after this lecture, we're going to, and me, myself as well, because we all need to improve when it comes to Lashon Hara. We're going to be better when it comes to our mouth. We're going to calculate exactly what we say and how we say. And if we say what we need to be careful. And guys, when it's allowed to speak Lashon Hara, we're going to learn that too. But we need to be very careful. Okay? Why? We have 2 ears, like we said in the past, and 1 mouth. Why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth? Because we need to listen twice in what we speak. Okay? We need to remember, our mouth could be the best machine that will help us build our spirituality world, and it could be our killer. Okay, so guys, let's see. We need to understand how Lashon Hara is including all the 7 laws of Noach. So the first law, idol worshiping. Why? What do you mean? What does that have to do with Lashon Hara? With slandering, slander. Okay? So when you speak Lashon Hara, basically you forget that God is listening to what you're saying. And you say bad stuff about other people. And you don't know and you don't realize right now is that God is watching you. So that's a very silent violation of Lashon Hara, which is Avodah Zarah. Let's go on. Stealing. When you're stealing the good name of a human being, yeah, that's even worse than stealing a phone. Okay, guys? Now you're stealing something, a computer. I violate the 7 laws of Noach. But when you're speaking bad against other people, what you're doing is you're stealing his good name, which is horrible, guys. Okay, dinim, right? Courts. Guys, when you are a judge of yourself and you know now that somebody's asking you something about other people and you know you must say something bad about him, listen, that guy is horrible. You're just taking the room of your court and you're destroying it. It could be sometimes worse than actually not having a court. Okay, guys? So we need to understand that violation of speaking against other people is the worst of the worst. And we're going to bring all kind of stories and all kind of verses from the Torah. And we're going to know exactly. And guys, somebody will ask me, listen. Rabbi O.V. Abraham, listen. I spoke already Lashon Hara for 10 years. What I'm going to do? We're going to learn how to fix it too. Okay? It says in the Navi, it says in the prophet, okay, in the prophet Isaiah, Ani Hashem, lo achpotz b'mot harasha. I don't want the wicked people to die. No. I want the wicked people to do tshuva, to repent and live. Same as here. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to be in a bad place. I want you to stop what you're doing and changing the way. Changing your ways, changing your actions, teaching, learning about Lashon Hara. And we need to know exactly all the details. And it's very, very interesting. And I promise you, after this lecture, our ways of talking will change totally. Okay, so let's go on. Ever min achai. Don't eat an animal unless it's dead. Okay? Krantali. Achzariut we say. Kuratli. If somebody could say the word exactly. But why I'm saying it, when you're mean and you're bad, it's usually when people think when you're eating an animal when he's alive. But when you're talking about other people, you're bad. You're being mean. Maybe you don't think that moment, but that's what you're doing. And guess what's going to happen? The 4 people who heard that bad will talk with other 10 people. And that 10 people will talk with 20 more people. And that 20 people, and you cannot stop it. It's exactly like a video you post. Yeah. And that video is a not nice video of you. Okay? Let's put it that way. You can stop it. You cannot stop it because he was posting it and he was sharing it with that guy. He was sharing. Go stop it now. Good luck. But guys, we're not here to bring us down. We're here to fix and to know that God is above everything. And he can fix that action if we stop. So everybody will say to himself, and including myself, God, if I spoke Lashon Hara by accident or not by accident, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm not going to do it again. And please forgive me. And if that person got hurt, please put in his heart a sign that he will love me. And that's what we're doing now. We're doing tshuva. Okay? God, I'm sorry what I did. Right now, we're going to study and learn and know exactly what you should say and what you should not say. And we're going to understand exactly that dear God has no patience for Lashon Hara. The judgment is very, very, very bad, you know? So let's start, guys. It says in the Torah, Lo telech rachil be'amecha, lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. Don't stand in front your friend's blood. Okay? Your friend who you're talking about has blood. Okay? Meat and blood. He has feelings. He has life. Maybe that word you're going to say can destroy something. You know? Maybe he's supposed to get a job. And if he say something bad, okay? that can affect him in the future, and we don't know that. Okay, that's the first verse. Let's go to the Gemara, guys. The Gemara in Arachim. Rabbi Yochanan said, check it out, guys. Each one who says Lashon Hara, it's like he's a koifer in everything. Means, he says that if you're speaking Lashon Hara, it's equal to idol worshiper. Okay, guys? Why? He says he's bringing a verse. Shene'emar, asher amru lelshonenu nagbir sefatemu, mi adon lanu. Okay? We're speaking, we're talking, okay? But we forget that God is watching us, listening to what we're saying. And that's so dangerous, guys. I guarantee you, if a big important professor will be there, you'll think twice. Or your parents, you're going to think twice. Or each human being, you're going to think twice. Why? It's not convenience now. Maybe when they go, I'll speak about him with my friend. But hey, what about the master of the universe who hears what you say about your friend? Okay? That's why he says, that's the conclusion. You speak Lashon Hara, it's equal to being a koifer, being an idol worshiper. Guys, and that's horrible. Okay, let's continue. The Gemara in Arachim, page 15. Amar Rav Sheshet mishum Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah. The big rabbi, Rav Sheshet, said that he said what he said. You know, it's two rabbis. One said, and the other one said what he said about Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah. כל המספר לשון הרע וכל המקבל לשון הרע ראוי להשליכו לכלבים. Means if you speak לשון הרע, you deserve to be thrown to the dogs. You know, hungry gods who attacked you. Why? Because as you know, guys, the dogs, and I love dogs. You know, dogs they're a great animal, but they have a very bad thing about them. A bad value, we can call it. They're very extreme. They just bark at you for nothing. Wow, what are you barking? If you pass next to a snake, he's gonna continue his action. If you pass through a donkey, he's gonna continue his action. Even a lion, he's not hungry now. He's just he's sleeping. Okay? But a dog, he's gonna bark for no reason. Why are you barking at me, man? Dog man, what do you want from me, man? No, I'm just barking. You are deserved to be thrown to the dogs. Why? Because you just attacked for no reason. Okay? And that's very important. Remember, I'm speaking, the rabbi said, I'm deserved to be thrown to the dogs. No, I don't want to be thrown to the dogs. That will be hurt. Right, guys? That's what we need to think about. Let's continue. Amar Rav Chisda. That's the same Gemara. Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Rav Ukva. Kol המספר לשון הרע, that's Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You need to know, some of the Gemaras, it says, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Dear God said. Dear God says, if somebody speaks Lashon Hara, I cannot live with him in this world. I don't want him. I don't want to. I have nothing to do with him. I'm like, stay away from me. What? Guys, there is no violation in all this Torah we're learning that God speaks against like Lashon Hara. We need to know that. Even somebody who steals, even somebody who's, I don't know, doing something bad, everybody will think, yeah? It's not getting even close to the level of Lashon Hara. God says, I have nothing to do with him. I don't want to be next to him. But you'll be shocked about this Gemara. Listen, guys, it says, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He talks to the devil, he says, listen, this is shocking. And God told to the devil, listen, the guy speaks Lashon Hara, when he dies, yeah, I'm going to catch him from the north. you're gonna catch them from the south and we're gonna smash them together. Huh? Shocking, huh? Me and you will attack them together. Yeah? Imagine, it's like bullying somebody, you here and I'm here. That's what the merciful, dear God says about a person who speaks Lashon Hara. Okay? Shocking. Now, why I'm saying it, guys, the key here, we need to understand, okay? Right, it's not said in the 7 laws of Noach, but I proved you that it's part of all of the laws, okay? Even so, it could be even worse. Because each action of the Lashon Hara is a part of the 7 laws of Noach. Well, guys, somebody will come and tell me, okay, I'll give you an example. Hey, Mr. Williams, why are you speaking Lashon Hara about this guy? You'll tell me, what do you want? It's true. What do you mean it's true? That's Lashon Hara, it's about the truth. Yes, guys, there is a worse case than Lashon Hara. And that's the most, oh boy, the most horrible thing. What is it? We say in Hebrew, Motzi Shem Ra. Not that I'm speaking Lashon Hara, because usually Lashon Hara, it's about the truth. He's a angry person and he's mean. And I'm starting to tell people he's mean, he's bad. That's true, right? But who said it's allowed? But this case, Motzi Shem Ra, is saying a bad name about a human being. That's much worse, guys. That's worse. I'm making a story about a person, and it's not true. How dare you? What are you doing? Guys, that's worse. Now, why I'm saying it, most of the people, right, unfortunately, there's a lot of people they love that. They go online, and that's one of the most critical things I want to talk about, okay? People think that, okay, I'm not speaking, but you're commenting, right? That guy is a bad person. In comments, you comment, there is an article about somebody, okay? He did that. He did that. He did, and you're commenting. I didn't speak, but you wrote Lashon Hara, and it's worse. Now you need to delete it. Where are you going to find it, man? Now you need to look at the history. Maybe you deleted the history. Where are you going to find it now? Now people were reading that the bad, juicy news you were saying about that person, and you killed that person. Now what are you going to do? How are you going to find him? You understand? So there is, unfortunately, in this time of the internet, the Lashon Hara, it's trillion times worse than 100 years before, okay? Because today it's just easy to get to everyone, okay? So we need to be careful when it comes to our comments, okay? Don't comment. What do you have to comment about? Yeah, that guy's bad. And needless to say, if it's a important person, somebody righteous, okay, the more righteous the person is, so the violation is harder. Even for simple people, you're not allowed to talk. So needless to say, to important people, to holy people, you understand? And this is one of the most critical things, guys. Because like I said, 70 years ago, no internet, nothing. It's only when it comes to human beings. But you are commenting and saying a comment in the internet, you cannot find it, and thousands of people are reading it. You understand? So that's why we need to be careful when it comes to the online world. Not just stick with the light. It's not necessary to talk about this guy and what he said and what that said. It will not accomplish nothing to our life. Okay, guys. And we need to continue, and we want to see exactly till where Lashon Hara comes and how God hates it so much and how we need to be careful. So let's go back to the Torah time. Was a big female righteous prophet. Her name was Miriam. Miriam the prophet. Not like the Miriams that the Muslims think that she was the sister of Jesus. They were mixing between two Miriams, guys. That's insane. No, not that Miriam. That Miriam, they were confusing between Miriam, the mother of you know who, and man, that was just funny, guys. Anyway, we're talking about Miriam, the sister of the big Moses. It says in the Torah, ותדבר מרים ואהרון במשה על אודות האישה הכושית אשר לקח, כי אשר כושית לקח. Guys, what's going on here? Check it out, guys. As we all know, it was a certain time that Moses stopped his relationship with his wife. He told his wife, it's enough. We cannot be together. We cannot be like each human being, husband and wife. And that was the only person in the universe who had that permission. Why? Because Moses was speaking with God face to face every day. So a human being who speaks with God face to face, he got to the conclusion that I cannot do something like being with my wife, doing that action. That's something special. Okay? So Moses told his wife, we cannot be together. I'm speaking with God every day. Now what happened? Now Miriam, his sister, realized that, and it was hurting for her. Why? Poor wife of Moses. Yeah, poor wife. So she said to her brother Aharon, I don't think it's okay. I mean, I love Moses, he's my brother, but why is leaving his wife that way? God was so angry. God told Miriam to get out, come out. You were speaking about Moses? About my server Moses? What? She got confused. But guys, she didn't say something bad. It was for his wife. It was for the peace. It wasn't here something bad she wanted to do. But for God, that was a totally Lashon Hara. Her punishment was leprosy for 1 week. Everybody watched Miriam, the big, huge, righteous female prophet, that she got leprosy 1 week. That was embarrassing. That was very shocking. But what we learned from this story, guys, that Miriam, what she did, she just was saying something about her brother that he's not gonna have a regular relationship with his wife, and it's not good. She didn't say something bad because she hated him. It was just speaking, normal, But no, for God, that was a horrible violation. God was very, very pissed and angry when it came to that action, guys. Okay, let's go on. And there is a very, very, very needless to say issue here. Okay? Now, as we know, guys, this parasha, in Israel, it's Korach. But out of Israel now, it's Shlach. It's the parasha with the spies. What the spies did, they were speaking Lashon Hara about rocks and trees. What's going on? Rocks and trees. I was speaking about this wall, so what's the big deal? Guys, and we all obviously know 100% the punishment the spies got and how horrible, how Hashem was so fueled and upset from their action. Why? They just said Lashon Hara about the land. So, guys, needless to say, what the land that has no feelings, the land is just a land, right? It's the land of God, but it has no feelings, right? Needless to say, a human being who born in the image of God, which is much difficult, much worse in the eyes of God. So we need to do the calculation, guys. If we see how the spies got the punishment from just talking about a rock and trees, so we can do the calculation and see how horrible it is to speak about human beings. Guys, we need to open our eyes, but let's continue, guys. And that's a very, very shocking story, guys. As we all know, the master of the Lashon Hara, who was speaking against the Lashon Hara, is the big Rabbi Yisrael, the Kohen from Radin. Okay, the Chafetz Chaim. He has a huge book about Lashon Hara. You know, how all the details, all the halachas, when you're allowed, when you're not allowed, the consequences and everything. So guys, one day, some guy came to the Chafetz Chaim, crying, Rabbi, I spoke Lashon Hara. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? The Chafetz Chaim told him, you see that pillow there? Bring me the pillow. Why? Okay. Now he took the pillow, he cut the pillow, and tack, 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 and all the small, how you say it, all the small pieces from the pillow. Now the window was open. Now all the thousands of pieces was going around this town, around his house. Now he told him, listen, do you want to fix it? Now you must find all the pieces of the pillow and put it back. How? It's not possible. Well, you're right. So he did it. And it was hard, but he did it. But what we see here, guys, sometimes when we speak and we say something we're not allowed to do, sometimes it's too late, guys. But we're not here to feel bad. We're here to fix, and we need to know that God can fix everything for us. God can change your reality for us. All we need to do is want and beg God, because if we do it, it's a piece of cake for God. But we need to know really the consequences. Why? Because that word we say can destroy us. So guys, before we continue, I want to tell you, there is two kinds of Lashon Hara. Sometimes, most of the cases, right, you're speaking to your friend, Lashon Hara. Now, it's between you and your friend, okay? And you realize that was wrong. What I'm going to do? You call your friend. Hey, brother, you remember we were talking about Michael a week ago, right? I didn't mean it. He's great. Michael's a nice guy. He's great. He's awesome, okay? Forget about what I said. And you should please repent too. Oh, you're right. Maybe we should not. Okay, great. Fixed. And dear God, I'm sorry. I will never do it again. I'll never do it again. I'm sorry. It's canceled. That's one kind of Lashon Hara. The second kind, ouch, guys, painful. Okay, you said about somebody that he's a very, very bad human being. Okay? Now, 7 people heard, and he wanted to get a good job. And however, one of the guys told him that I heard he's a bad person. Don't expect him. Now, all his life is messed up because of that. That's much more difficult to do tshuva. So yes, you need to go to him and you need to put flyers. I don't know, do whatever, but that's much more difficult situation. Okay? But thank God, sometimes, the Lashon Hara could be in hold. So you must destroy that action. You must destroy it. Don't keep it in the world, guys. Okay? And that's very important. Now, I want to tell you a shocking story that happened. Okay, it was 2 girls. They were like 19-year-old. They were sitting in the bus. Now, that 2 girls had a very, very new information. Their girlfriend from school is getting married now. They were probably a little bit jealous. So they were starting to think, I can't believe that girl is getting married. She's not so pretty. She's just, she wasn't even so smart. What's going on? How come she's getting married? I mean, we all know she wasn't even dressing modest. How come she got, they were speaking like 7-8 minutes about that girl. Now, suddenly, they feel they turn around. Hi, by the way, I want to tell you something. That girl, she needs to get married with my son. Now I know everything. Now I know the truth. So thank you very much. I'm canceling the marriage. Okay? I'm canceling the wedding. Thank you very much. And she went out of the bus. They were looking and she said, what do we do? What do we do? They went out of the bus. Hey, no. We didn't mean it. No, it's too late. It's too late. Too late. Please, we beg you. We don't mean it. Please. And then 10 minutes after they begged, she told him, listen, chill, relax. I'm not the mother, but I could be the mother. I'm a different lady, but in the same time, I could be the mother. So from now, you promise me. And if you promise me that you will never speak Lashon Hara, I'm going to forget about it. They were, of course, yeah. Then they realized how wrong they were, that two girls. What a bad violation they did. Okay? And from that point, they changed their way. And they were careful from each kind of Lashon Hara. Because right now, we don't see it. But who knows who's listening to us? Who knows? In that story, guys, that could happen to each Lashon Hara. It can destroy somebody's life. And then, measure for measure, you want to get married, your life will be stuck. So why people are sick? Why people are miserable? Why people have no luck? Why people, their life is dark? Because they're not careful from Lashon Hara. They're not careful. People are speaking like this world, do whatever you want. Guys, it's ABAA of life, not to speak Lashon Hara. Okay. Now, there's another story, guys. In that story, we can realize how it can happen to the most righteous people and how you can fix it. Okay, you've been in a bad situation. Let's see how we can fix it. So check this story, shocking story out, guys. One day, a big rabbi, okay, had a server, a nice guy server. Simple person, he's doing his job and going. Now, that server was cleaning his room. Now, that server, was cleaning one of the books, okay? Now, the money was a bill of money. It fell down, and he put it back in the same place, okay? Great. Now, a week later, they said, listen, money's disappearing here. What's going on? Then they told the rabbi, listen, there's no money here. What's going on? Who it can be? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks passed till they got to the conclusion that server stole the money. And listen, you're the only one who is getting inside the room. I'm not here. I'm the only one here and you. Nobody can come in. So obviously you stole the money. No, I swear you, it's not me. Right, I saw the money, but I didn't touch it. It was in the same place. I said, well, I cannot find it. Oh, now people were starting to speak Lashon Hara. That guy's a thief. He's mean. He's bad. Now, a month later, he had no choice. That simple, nice guy. He left the town with big aggravation. People were humiliating him. He was just so, go away. He left. He went to a different town, guys. He had no choice. Okay, he's trying to find a job, no job. He's starved. He feels horrible. He's crying. How it could happen? Why? I didn't steal it. Why? He was crying. What's going on here? I didn't do. People think I'm a thief talking about me. So check it out, guys. One day the rabbi was opening the book and he sees the money. What? I can't believe it. It's not that person. It's not that guy. Wow. I need to find him quick. Where is he? We don't know. He left. So he was trying. Oh, I know he moved to that town. Now we found him finally. Hey, listen. My old server. I'm sorry. I found the money. You look at them. Listen, dear Rabbi, it's too late. You destroyed my life already. You destroyed my life. Now, what happened, guys, and that's very, very shocking, okay? You will not believe it. He told him, listen, what can I do? How can I make it up for you? How? He said, listen, the only way you can make it up for me, if you, your son, and my daughter will get married. What? Okay. Well, he seems that he has no choice. Okay? And the rabbi got to the conclusion to fix that Lashon Hara. He did. He must, his daughter, and the son of the rabbi get married. And that way, everybody will believe that he's not a thief. So guys, what we see here, sometimes our action can ruin everything. Everything. But if we're careful and we know exactly what we're doing and we're careful with our mouth, then guys, God will help us. So, what's the conclusion, guys? Okay, and before we get to the main point. Now, somebody will tell me, listen, you told me sometimes it's allowed to speak Lashon Hara, right? So, when I'm allowed to speak Lashon Hara, so guys, check it out. The only time you have a hater to speak Lashon Hara, it's two cases. It's one, if it's dangerous. That guy's a thief. Yeah, he's stealing. If you don't tell people he's deceived, he will steal from that person and from that person. So you're allowed to. Okay? Now, the second case is a person who makes fights. Okay? There's people who just like the juicy news. They talk about this. If it's we call it a Baal Machloket. Okay? Baal Machloket. Somebody who loves that juicy action if talking about people. You know, that person, for example, there's a person who speaks about rabbi and he speaks about this and he's a big troublemaker. You're allowed to speak Lashon Hara about him. Why? Not for for the juicy news. No. Because, you know, if you speak about him, people will be careful about him. That's the two cases. You're allowed to speak Lashon Hara. And if you do it, you don't do it, like I said, you do it because the Torah said so. And guys, there is one more case. We say dust of Lashon Hara. Like dust in the wind, dust of Lashon Hara. What is dust Lashon Hara? Dust Lashon Hara. What do you think about Isaac? It's better if I don't speak. That's dust of Lashon Hara. He didn't say something bad, but he said something that makes it look bad. It's better if I don't speak. What do you think about John? I don't know. Let's change it up. It's better not to talk. So people understand from here that it's a very, very serious violation. It's not talking, you know, but that could lead to the big Lashon Hara. And guys, how we fix it? Like we said, it's very important to understand, okay, that whatever happened, happened. Whatever happened is done. How we fix it? Okay, first of all, we did tshuva. Okay, I'm not going to do it ever in my life. I'm not going to do it. Even if you fall again, you do again tshuva. Okay? Be careful from comments in the internet. Be careful from listening to Lashon Hara. If you hear somebody speaks Lashon Hara, say, hey, what do you want to, why are you talking? You're perfect. You're better. You're a macho. You're God. Who you are. Relax, man. You know, make sure, and the best tshuva is, guys, is not only to stop, it's to tell people it's not good to speak against other people. Because what you do is you not only fix and you stop, you add zchuyot that you say to the person, don't speak Lashon Hara. It's not good for you. That will not help you. That will not give you anything. Okay? And when dear God will see your actions, He's gonna change the nature for you. Why I'm saying it? Because sometimes it's too late. Sometimes it's difficult to change. But guys, remember, it says the heart, when you feel something, for example, if God forbid somebody doesn't like that person, I don't like him, and then you see him, there's a weird energy between you. Why? How come? I mean, because that's the spiritual energy. But when you say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, the guy was speaking about, I love him, he's great, he's good. And then God will give him that energy that, wow, that guy's great. He's going to make him forget about it. That, guys, only dear God can do it. Dear God will do it. Only if you do it for real. Only if you do it for the sake of heaven. You really, you feel bad about it, okay? Then guess what, guys? Dear God will change the universe for you, okay? And that, guys, is the main details here of Lashon Hara, okay? So, what we need to do, we need to use our mouth and daven and pray and say good words and bless God and bless the people and bless, wish the best for the people. And if somebody's wrong, you want to say something bad, say, I wish he's going to stop what he's doing. I hope he will stop what he's doing. Don't start, oh, he's this, he's that. That will not help you, okay? Be like God, okay? We need to think like the state mind of God, okay? Ma'u rachum, afatach rachum. He's merciful, you be merciful, okay? People do bad actions against God all the time. People are violating, doing horrible stuff. Who's giving the oxygen to the idol worshippers? Who now somebody's murdering, God forbid. Who gave the person ability to press the button? God. Now why I'm saying it, God has a lot of patience for the people. So we need to learn from God, and we will have patience. Even if somebody did something bad. Okay? Like I said, unless it's life risk. Okay? There's a gangster now. We sell drugs to the children. No, you're not supposed to speak Lashon Hara. Of course you're allowed. Not only you're allowed, you must speak Lashon Hara about that drug dealer. Okay, but this cases, okay, and if we have questions, we ask the rabbi. We're allowed to, and the rabbi will tell you if it's allowed to or not. But in this case, like I said, he's dangerous, he's a pedophile, God forbid. There's a pedophile, right? He's going to the gardens and waiting for kids and girls and attacking. But it's Lashon Hara. God. There's no Lashon Hara here, guys. You must tell the police, you must tell the people and warn from this criminal. Okay, we're talking about just regular situations, okay? There's a big difference, okay? That's why we need to learn, okay? Each detail is different, okay? And guys, the people who make all kind of fights, it's not only you're allowed, it's a mitzvah to talk about these people. People who are, he's this, he's that, he's all the juicy news people, you must talk about him because he's the bad example. But guys, only for the sake of heaven, not because you join it or something. Okay, you want to speak about somebody who steals, you must tell him, because if not, he's gonna steal somebody else. You must do it. So guys, the only way to fix it is to love God, to respect God, and to respect the people. Yeah, and to be careful. In the end, literally your mouth is in the control of yourself. Okay, always speak good. Always be optimistic. Why people speak Lashon Hara? For misery. you're miserable, you have nothing to say, so you speak Lashon Hara. You understand, guys? So, guys, smile, be happy, don't think about it. I give that lecture for one time, and then we don't need to think about it even. Think only about your good stuff you want to do with God. How I'm going to do good for my Creator. My Creator doesn't need me. I'm perfect. He's perfect. I'm not perfect. So let's be nice. Let's give charity. Let's do something good. You see a human being, God bless you. God will help you. God will fulfill your mission. Will make your dream become true. Make everything fine. You understand? Now why I'm saying it, guys, the other way to fix it, like it's not only what I said, it's talking good about people. And when you talk good and good and good about people, then God will fix everything. Okay, guys, that was a short lecture. There's a lot to talk about, okay? But I really recommend you to take this point and pray that, please God, save my mouth from speaking Lashon Hara. Make me happy. I want to see the good stuff about other people. Sometimes people are just, by accident he had a bad day, so he did something stupid. Why to destroy his life? Give him a chance, you understand? So we need to learn. Each case is different. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure, and God bless you, and together we will make this world a better place, okay? Because our mouth is the most huge weapon we can imagine. Okay, guys, all the best. God bless you. See you next week. All the best.